Guys, welcome back to another podcast episode. I know in my last video I was like, I'm not gonna talk about what's going on. I'm gonna just stop talking about this stuff. But since this is a podcast and a podcast is generally about relevant issues, then that's what I'm gonna do. So, I don't know how many of you have been living under a rock, but this thing that's going on in Seattle is a complete shit show. I don't know what right-minded person would be in a government and be a leader, have a leadership role, and continue to allow that to happen. So I've been watching people a lot lately, like the Salty Cracker, which is a ridiculous name for a channel, but anyway, it's funny. The Salty Cracker and Jack, I can't even remember his last name. I think it's Postadaic maybe, or Postdaic. But he works for ONN. He's a reporter. And he is the guy who doxed me. He's got like 1 million followers on Twitter. And he doxed my Instagram account, which, he's a Second Amendment guy. He's a Trump guy. He didn't really do anything wrong. It's the people who, all these Antifa and all these people who hate him that follow him because they want to know what he's up to, that got a hold of that tweet and retweeted it and made it into like some other crap. But, I'm not worried about that stuff at all anymore. It's a very small minority of people who are attacking me for that, and that's pretty much been gone and done with at this point, because they realize they're not going to break me. You're not going to break me with your little messages on Instagram and your little talks about thinking that you know me and who I am. You don't know shit. So those kind of things are not going to break me. It's going to take a whole lot, but nothing's going to break me. It's just I've been through way too much shit to deal with some people I never even met in my life who have an opinion on something they know nothing about. So I don't waste my time with it. But anyway, I've been watching into Jack, and this guy who doxed me, I actually like his Instagram or his Twitter account a lot because he's a real reporter. Like, he went into that Chaz, to that Capitol Hill autonomous zone, and just to refresh some of you who may be living under a rock, what is going on in Seattle is peaceful protesters, quote unquote, have taken over 7 city blocks, including the police district in downtown Seattle. Now the police are like, and their chief, who's like, but we didn't give up the police station. It was not my, like, yeah, that's what you did. You gave it up. You took all the evidence out. You took all the guns out. You gave it up. And then she said, they had other plans for the building. It's such a big setup, and like, I feel so bad for the people who have businesses in that area, that 7-block area. There's a guy who has a car lot. If you look on Twitter, I don't know why. I mean, he's right like 100 feet from where one of the zone barriers are, I guess, to go into this Chaz or whatever it is. His car dealership is there, and I guess somebody broke in and he caught him, and all this stuff where they let him go and all this crap. I don't really know what the context of why all those people showed up at his gate and were chanting. I guess because they were holding this guy until the police came, but the police never came, I guess is what it was. And then all of a sudden, all this commotion happened with all these people at this guy's gate, and they pushed the gate down, and they get in like they were going to, do whatever. But then, I guess people like right-minded people were there thinking, oh, whoa, hold back. And thank God for those type of people, because if they weren't there, who knows? People are going to get killed in this situation. You're hearing rumors about the Hells Angels going down there. You're hearing rumors about the Mongols meeting up with them and going there. I think that's all bullshit, personally. But I guess you never know. So yeah, what it is peaceful protesters have taken over this 7 city block area in downtown Seattle, and they basically zoned it off, and they're calling it not America. Like, it's not America. You're now leaving the U.S. You're in this area. There's no policing. There's some kind of guy there. His name's Raz, and he is a warlord, they're calling him, although I think he's just a pussy. And, that's just my opinion. The dude's a punk. He's a punk. You could tell. He's got punk written all over him. There's just one dude who's getting all loud with everybody. I'm from the hood. Screaming at this dude, and he sucker punches him. Like, you're just a bully pussy punk, dude. Like, you do that to somebody who can fight, you're going to get your ass kicked. So, You do that to some of these hood guys down here in Philly, and watch what happens, you little punk ass. So this place is at daytime. It's, to say the least, it's disgusting at daytime, even because there's people that have to operate businesses there, and all they're getting is chanting people and walking around, throwing trash, doing drugs everywhere. It's just gross. This is not. And the mayor's, let's have a summer of love. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you go live in that down there and see how that's like, what it's like. I want to have a summer of love so bad. So, mainstream media and the mayor there, and they're all acting like it's some kind of festival. Like this, it's a festival. We're just gonna give up our whole entire downtown section of Seattle and make it a festival forever, a protest festival. We want to have an area for our protesters to express themselves freely whenever they want. Okay, so make a park for that. Why are they taking over businesses, shutting down streets? Why are you allowing these people to do that when at nighttime so the mainstream media does this thing during the day and they highlight it like it's, like I said, like some kind of festival, all happy and whatever. And majority, from what I've seen from video, people in there on Twitter, there's so much video footage of this place out right now at this point. It's ridiculous. And there's even been times during the day where there's preachers or street preachers, which is totally legal in the United States, and these people are street preaching the word of God, and these people are coming up, you can't do that here, and assaulting them, essentially. Well, like, you may have claimed this area to be non-America, but you're fucking in America. Like, what are you doing? It's just this, you can't do that here, you can't say that here, and assaulting this person. And that's disgusting to me. How can you have... That's communism. That's what that is. So I don't know if they understand what they're doing or not. I mean, but, I know I don't know. They don't know what they're doing. It's a bunch of kids in there. There may be a small minority of adults, but it's generally, from what I've seen, 30 to 18 and 15 to 30-ish. There is no grown-ass man who is going in there and being like, yeah, fuck America, yeah, fuck the police. And there's just no, and if you are one of those guys, you're just, I don't know, it's, everybody can have their own opinion, and I'm all for change, because the government's fucked. It's so divided at this point where it's, I don't think it's ever going to go back to the way it was. Guys, I really don't understand. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll get into that. Let's talk about this Chaz thing a little bit more. So at night, what's going on at Chaz at nighttime is a completely different thing. And if you go on Jack Posadak's Twitter, you will see footage of people getting assaulted, guns getting cocked. This one kid, he's I need somebody who can handle a gun. He hands a gun to a kid who may or may not have been 18. Oh, is anybody here 18? So in Seattle, you have to be 18 to handle a firearm. I don't know what the legal age is to own one and carry concealed or whatever Seattle law is, but I know I guess to have one in your hand you have to be 18. I guess, I don't know, but that's what somebody wrote on the side of the video. So in the video, Raz, this warlord, he goes into the trunk of his Tesla, he hands this kid an AR-15. Looked like just a regular, probably like a M&P, just a stock M&P or maybe something else, but anyway, the kid, he's who's 18 here, who knows how to operate a gun? And this kid's, I do. And, he didn't ask, are you 18? Or let me see your ID, because that's what a responsible gun owner would do. Let me just check your ID, though, because, are you 16? Because I can go to jail for it's a felony charge, I mean, maybe not, but I don't know the exact laws. I'm not a lawyer, so, but I know for sure you're going to get some kind of firearms charge with handing a kid, especially if he does something with it. Like if this kid goes and shoots somebody because he has no clue, then you're responsible for that. So I'm pretty sure you would get charged for the murder just as much as him. So anyway, he hands this kid this gun, and he's fumbling with it. He don't know what. He saw take the mag out. He don't even know where the mag release is. So he lied to him, and right away, when you hand somebody a firearm, the first thing that you do when anybody hands you a firearm, whether they say it's cleared or not, he's just said, take the mag out. Well, what good's that do if the thing's racked? What good? Now, hopefully you're not racking your AR-15s, okay? Hopefully Hopefully you're not keeping around in a chamber in an AR-15, because understand something. These are not drop safe, okay? These are floating trigger, the mechanism, the bolt is a floating bolt. This is not a drop safe firearm. Never ever keep one in a chamber in an AR-15. They're not drop safe. Unless you're in a fucking war zone, which you're not. So, well, that's debatable. But listen, you got to keep that thing out of the chain. It doesn't take much to rack it. And now the argument can be made with a Glock, with a handgun. Oh, how long does it take? Well, a handgun is a self-defense firearm. And though it's debatable, it's a concealed carry self-defense firearm. Though it's debatable whether that is or not, you're not walking the streets with this. You are with this. So this is drop safe. This is a trigger safety. This has a drop safety. This has a safety inside the striker, a drop safety. So, it doesn't have an external safety. But they're just not drop safe. So, to hand that kid a firearm and go, take the mag out, that doesn't mean shit. Yo, check and clear it. I cleared it, but you should check anyway. You're first, as a responsible person with a firearm, is even when somebody tells you that they cleared it, is to clear it yourself. All right, pull the mag out, rack the bolt carrier back. So, this kid's fumbling with it and the girl filming it. She's like, whoa, hell no. Point that thing down. You can see this video, guys. You can watch this whole thing. You can watch it. It's like, this is not fake made up. This is a kid who has no fucking idea how to handle a firearm, who was given a firearm by some fucking warlord idiot in middle downtown Seattle. To protect against who knows who. What are they going to do if the Hells Angels and Mongols actually show up? Are they going to get in a gunfight with these people? Are you kidding me? And the government's going to allow this to happen? I guess. What do they do if they actually show up? And then the police are, oh, no, you can't. They're going to show up so quick and just run in there and just beat the crap out of all these soybean-eating crapheads. They're asking, and it's like, I don't mean to be judgmental, but that's what they're asking for. They're not asking for, hey, bring us loads of cheesesteaks and meats. No, they're asking for soy and non-vegan or vegan meat and all this other crap. It's just weird. It's a weird area. I don't get it. How could I get it? I mean, I'm not. Everybody has their own thing, right? And I'm not against people who are vegan and people who eat soy, but to want to change everybody into the way they think of it, it's like, well, you have to fucking be a soybean eating pussy, or fuck you, you're racist, I guess, right? I mean, it's the mentality of these people is sickening because they're so young. A lot of them, they just, a lot of these kids are just been in college for ever, and now they're trying to express themselves and they want to blame the white man. The white man is the reason why you don't have a job. Fuck, what are you talking about? I didn't even go to college and I have a banging job. You know what I mean? I make over $100,000 a year at my job. I don't fucking have no problems getting a job, and I have no fucking degree. I have a fucking high school diploma, and I make $100,000 a year plus my YouTube. So fuck off. These people who want everything handed to them, I don't get it, man. I just, like I said, guys, I'm all for change because this government is really starting to look like a real shit show. And even Donald Trump, he's he's just not, he's a good politician and he's funny and he does things, but he is not a leader. He has not taken this thing into a leadership role to where, hey, everyone, it's going to be all right. He just kind of fucking makes fun of it and then just kind of brushes it under the rug like it never happened. And that's just not what a leader does. A leader, you need to embrace this with your American people. I almost fucking want to run for president, man. But, who's texting me? Anyway, so this place looks like a real shit show at nighttime. There's more video you can see. This kid who essentially robbed that car dealership, he tried to come back. They get a hold of him. The one guy sucker punches him, like I was saying. You can watch all this shit. And Jack is filming this, and then you got these Antifa dickheads who are, they're filming, or they're these Antifa assholes who are like, how's Jack getting all this video? They don't even know he's actually there. He's telling them he has some inside source there, which he does now. He put together a network there. Very smart. If I was there, I'd definitely work for him and be like, dude, I got you. I'll be here. I ain't fucking going nowhere because I'm real good. Like, when I was even in the Fishtown thing, these people still have no fucking clue who I am. They're trying to find out what my name is, and they're trying to find out where I live, I guess. I mean, like, why? What's your plan to find out where I live? You gonna fucking come here? You gonna come here? You gonna come here? You gonna come to my house? Okay. You come on by. With anything, if just don't come here. Don't come here. You don't want to come here. So, but yeah, I don't understand what the plan is. Hi, puppy. What's your plan? You got eye boogies. Don't interrupt the show, Bob. Get down. Come on. I know. Yeah, I don't know what their plan is for that, and it's weird because they got pictures of me that I didn't even know. Like, how they had this picture of me on my bike. This dork called me a dork. Anyway, I am a dork. I don't care. What the fuck is that? Is that gonna hurt my feelings? Don't hurt my feelings and call me a dork. Somebody never met me before. You're gonna call me a dork. Somebody put, this guy's never getting laid. They put, funny. It's funny. Pretty sure I could probably fuck your girlfriend. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that, and it's just this guy. They got this picture of me on my bike, and I don't know how they got this picture, and what's even funnier about that picture is like they got this picture of me, so they know I'm someone. I guess they know I'm the guy that filmed the YouTube video, but they don't know like who I am and what my name is, and they never fucking will, and neither do any of you. So, and that's nothing against, like, my subscribers or anything. Like, I have loyal subscribers. There's 10,000 of you at this point. Like, that's insane. And I appreciate all of you, but I'm not going to give out my name. And it's nothing against my subscribers. Like, there are some of you who do know my name, and you know what I do for a living. And you guys are all respectful enough of my privacy not to put that in the comments, and I appreciate that. Because when you do, I delete it anyway. So, like, I appreciate all you guys keeping my privacy, you guys really have been going over the edge in some of these comments too, and people who are saying some things, and it's just been really cool to see people stand up for not only what this channel is, what I stand for as well, and I appreciate that. So anyway, but at the same time, I don't like to put my subscribers in that position. So a lot of those times, I'm just gonna delete those comments and just not have you guys have to deal with it or see it. I just don't feel like that's something I want to be. I don't want this channel associated with it. So that's why I took that video down, actually, because I just don't want my channel associated with that crap. And, these people want to give me a hard time about the fact that I've made this video and basically said that they were all uneducated and they didn't see the bigger picture because they didn't, and they got mad at that. But what they're really mad at is the fact that everybody in the city has seen them saying racial slurs, not all of them, but some of them saying racial slurs, beating the shit out of some kid for no reason. There's literally pictures of people doing it. And, like, I'm not going to say any, like, whatever, protect your neighborhood, fucking cool, but, like, beating up innocent people who are just there documenting, that's fucked. Okay, so, like, and they're just mad. They want to put me in this, like, I'm the one that caused all that. Whatever, paint me as that picture, that's fine. Don't care, because I'm going to tell you guys something right now. And this is serious, right? This is dead serious. And this has nothing to do with this, because a lot of you know I was probably going to move out of the city anyway. I've been talking about it forever on this channel. And in the beginning of the year, my heart was set to move to Georgia. And, that didn't work out, although I still was looking into it anyway, because I like down south, South Carolina, Georgia, and all those areas, but I don't want to be on the East Coast, I think. So the Georgia thing didn't work out, although I was looking at it, and then this whole thing with Atlanta, and Georgia's just kind of a mess, and it's a little too humid for me. So I was thinking of something a little bit more hotter, and I was looking into Texas, and I've been looking in it hard. I got family there already. I got a job there already lined up, ready to go if I need to, and my lease here is up in October, and I'm like, God damn, I think I'm going to do it. Like, I don't even want to say I'm 80. I don't even want to say I'm like a percentage away. Like, it's almost at this point, like, my heart is set on I'm getting out of here. Like, I'm going to move to Texas. And at that point, do we change the channel name? I don't know. If we could keep Hardcity Raindrops, we can maybe change it up to something else. And that's something I've been pondering around and writing some things down and seeing. But This has nothing to do with these people who are, because I feel like, mentioning this now, I feel like people are gonna be like, we pushed him out of Philly. That's not the situation. The situation here is like, and you guys who are my subscribers have been around since day one know that I've never liked the city. I'd never liked living here. A lot of it has to do with the fact moving deeper into the city like I did was because of my job and where I was at. I wanted to be closer to my job. So with that, with that happening, I was like, well, this is only gonna be temporary. Let me move closer to work and let me make as much money as I can and get the fuck out of here. That was really what the plan was, and it's always been that. And now, where I see what's going on in the city and how it's ran, I just don't want to be a part of it. I want to be out, and I want my homestead. I want to get a couple acres. I want like 5 to 6 acres, maybe more if I can, and I want to move to Texas or Arizona. Those are the 2 states I've been looking into, like hardcore looking into, guys. Like I am looking at houses, I'm looking at properties, I'm looking at getting a couple acres and putting a storage container and building a house out of that and making it and living in a rental apartment for like a year until I build it and make YouTube videos out. Like I have this whole plan, guys, like for this, and like the whole Lamborghini thing that I wanted to do. We're gonna just scratch that, I think, for now, and like just get out of here and do the homesteading thing. And not to like say, but like Wrangler Star really inspired me to do that. And I'm just that type of guy. Like I just want to do that type of thing. I don't want to have to rely on the government to feed me. And these people, like, so I put a post up on Instagram yesterday, and I put my backpack, which has a armor insert in it. I put my trauma kit. I put the AR. I put the Glock, and I labeled everything, and it's pretty cool. Some of you may have seen the pictures, and I'm like, it's every American's obligation. It's every American citizen's obligation and responsibility to learn the use of firearms properly and blah, blah, blah. And, somebody put in the comments, they're like, what are you afraid of? What are you getting ready for? And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, are you fucking dumb? Like, what do you mean? Do you watch the news? Like, guys, if this isn't a perfect sign for you to be getting ready, because it's not too late, although I know it seems like it's too late because we are in a civil war. This is a mental civil war at this point. There's no been bloodshed yet. There's no, like, battleground area where we're having this big battle fight. It hasn't come to that yet, but there are people on this other side that have, on these all sides, who have guns. So, it could very well come to that and if you look at history and what Hitler did in 1933 when he developed, I think it's the brown coats and the SS. It's the same thing they did. They demonetized the police, or demonetized. They demolished. Holy fucking Christ. They defunded the police is the first thing they did. And this didn't happen overnight. It was a slowly progressive thing. And then all of a sudden, all these people, they had no police, they had no rights, and they had, killed 60 million Jews. And, like, fuck. It's almost like if you don't believe in this, you're going to get killed or something. Like, it's at that point. It's getting to that point. It's slowly, you can see it happening. Like, it's just, and I don't know what this person was thinking in their head. Like, what are you afraid of? I'm not afraid of anything. I'm ready. I'm good. You're the one that should be afraid since you clearly have no clue. And that's literally what I put in the comments. But those people are just useless to have a conversation with. They just don't get it, right? There is nothing wrong with being a man who is able-bodied to be prepared, to just use his head enough to be like, when the shit hits the fan like it's been, I'm ready. I got my rifle. I got my plate carrier, which is on the way, by the way. I got, extra mags. I got ammo. I got food. I got, food for my dog. I got place to go. I have things in preparation in case things get bad. Because, honestly, look at these people who live in Seattle. What if you live on that street and these fucking people are doing all this shit and it's getting crazy at night? Guns are getting cocked. People are getting assaulted, beat, and, flags are getting ripped out of hands. Street preachers are getting beat up and assaulted and dragged out of the fucking area. If you live in that area, shit's getting burned. They're trying to burn down car dealerships for no reason. Is that a situation where you live in that area where you're like, fucking bug out? It's time to bug out. And there's people who are doing it. They're living in a hotel for a couple weeks because they can't go to their house. Somebody's checking their ID every time to make sure they live where they live, And that's not America. That's not what you do. It's disgusting. And for the government, these people who pay taxes to the government who live there are being basically stripped out of their own homes. This is communism. It's disgusting. So like, if, did that person have a bug out bag? These people who were writing, I couldn't, even if I wanted to move out, I couldn't even bring a U-Haul truck down the street because it's blocked and blah blah blah, and there's all these people. So do you have a bug out bag where you can just grab your bag and go and just leave everything? You should have these things. This is what I'm talking about. And this person in the comments who clearly has no clue like what I'm talking about, they're like, why do you need that? Why do you need that? Why do you need a backpack? What? So anyway, guys, I just was thinking, moving to Texas wouldn't be a bad idea because that could happen here. It's been happening here. Things like, in my exact neighborhood, no, but they're trying to rip down. They're trying to rip down all these statues. They took the Frank Rizzo statue down. He represented racism and all this. This is the problem here. It's the mayor and these leaders we call leaders. They buy into everything. These people, let's try to calm them down by painting the statue or putting the statue down or painting. Well, did that calm them down? No, that didn't do shit. Now they have advantage of you. Now they're like, what else can we get? Now let's take down this statue. Let's take down the Christopher Columbus statue. Like, when's enough? This is what our country was built on. This is the history. If you can't take that, and it's mainly white people who are like bitching about this. It's like, that statue's racist. Like, there's a small minority of black people who are like, yeah, take down the Christopher Columbus statue. Like, who's Christopher Columbus? Who the fuck is Christopher Columbus? Who gives a fuck about Christopher freaking Columbus? Change something. This is not how you... I mean, I guess the argument could be made that the statue symbolizes racism, right? With the Frank Rizzo one, Frank Rizzo, if you know anything about fucking Frank Rizzo, who was the mayor of Philadelphia in the 70s, he was a police commissioner, he was a fucking badass. Some people call him racist because he didn't take no shit from anyone. Didn't matter what color you were getting your ass kicked if you gave him lip. He didn't care if you were media, he didn't care what the hell you were. This guy was an absolute beast. And I guess, I wasn't around in that time era, but my mom just was telling me he just hated everyone. He wasn't exactly a racist. There were some racial things that he was involved in, but that doesn't necessarily make him a racist. So obvious that Democrats are pushing race extortion on everyone right now because their presidential candidate can't even read a teleprompter. He's literally just he's just completely oblivious to like anything that's going on. If you hear this guy talk, and his health is, I don't understand how he could be running for president. But what I would pay close attention to, and I think this has to happen soon. He's got to pick soon who the vice president is going to be, who their vice presidential candidate for the Democrats is going to be. That's going to be a big deal. So because in my eyes, I think Joe Biden is going to kick the bucket or be assassinated or something. And then next thing you know, you have this vice president, and that's who the big deal is. Because whoever the vice president is, damn well wasn't going to win on their own against Trump. So Biden's got too much political influence over dumb people, and and there's a lot of dumb fucking people out there. So I don't know. To me, it's pretty obvious that what's going on here is the Democrats are just pushing this. The media, which is mainly like the mainstream media, which is CNN and Fox, this is all democratically owned businesses. And all these states where all this bullshit's happening, Seattle, this is all Democratic ran. Philadelphia is Democratic ran. It's a joke. It's a joke, and I want nothing to do with it. I don't want anything to do with this fight that these people got themselves into. If the fight comes to me, that's a different story. But I don't know, man. It's just be ready, guys. Be ready, because it's gonna get worse, and I feel so bad. So at this point, it's like, what are you fighting for? What do you fight for? Well, I'm gonna fight for, because I don't have kids. I'm gonna fight for my friends and my family who have kids. And I feel so bad that they got to grow up in this fucking shithole, and all these people want to make this a communist country. Like, I don't understand what they want to do with this country. I really don't. I don't know what the end agenda is, but I do know that it seems eerily close to what fucking Hitler did in in Germany in 1933, before World War II. So, yeah, fuck, guys. I think, honestly, one more thing happened, because the Democrats are going to ride this out as much as they can, because now, what do you see now that it's been, George Floyd's been dying down? Then they tried to push this cop shooting this other guy who was completely unarmed. It's like this unarmed black man who was sleeping in his car, they just opened the door and shot him, right? Which is actually, that's the narrative that the media pushed. This democratically owned media pushed this narrative, although there's over 100 different fucking video angles of this guy was being okay with the cops. They were talking to him for freaking 15 minutes, and then they go to arrest him, and then he turns into a complete maniac, and he beats the shit out of both cops, takes a taser, runs away, aims it at the cop, and he gets shot for it. And, this is a situation where it's debatable whether that cop should have just, look, for me, these cops need more training. I think I heard on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I know this to be true because I know a lot of fucking cops, and I know there's a lot of you on this channel. You guys just don't get enough training. You have to take it in your own hands almost, right? So, what do you train like once, maybe twice a year, or 2 hours a year on some race training or something like that? You don't get the training. Where like Marines and Army, they train constantly. That's all they do is train. Different scenarios, different this, different that. The only people that get that type of training in police is SWAT. They train a lot. That's pretty much all they do. So that's why they go in. But like these police officers who did what they did, for me, I'm going to tell you, but it's hard to say unless you're in that situation. But these cops, okay, Let's play both sides of this. These cops are scared. This guy beat the shit out of both of them. They already know he's a criminal because they ran his fucking plates like every cop does. So they already know he's got a background. They already know, there's a possibility he could be a problem. They already know this. So when they don't give a problem, they're thinking cool, whatever. But then things change and escalate very quickly. And this guy is beating the shit out of these cops, and he takes one's taser and he runs. So at that point, as you're a police officer, let's play smart police officer who has a lot of training. Not to take away that these guys aren't smart, but let's just play devil's advocate, okay? You're a cop who's got more training, you got a little bit more understanding, and you're a little bit more calm in a hectic situation. The guy takes the taser and runs, and you and your partner, and you're chasing him. You either chase this guy down. Your adrenaline, look, I don't know. There's people in the comments, you've never been hit with a taser. I have been hit with a taser. Mind you, I've been hit with every fucking taser. Now, that type of taser will take you down if your adrenaline isn't, like they say, the guys on PCP, guys on drugs, methamphetamines, they'll fucking rip those things out and go crazy. But as same as your adrenaline, if it's pumping strong enough, and cops got vests and shit, guys, where he'd have to hit him right in the fucking forehead with the thing, or in the neck or something. He hits it in his vest, it's just gonna stick to his vest, gonna pull it off. Hit him in the leg, oh fuck it, my adrenaline. Look, I've been hit with these things and it does incapacitate you to a point to where you can't fucking move. It does, but not when your adrenaline, if you're strong enough and you're fucking, you're in that mode. That shit's not going to do nothing. Plus, you have another cop. He's going to hit you twice. He's got to charge it before he fires. So, I don't know, guys. It's one of those things. So let me just tell you. Let's play devil's advocate. A smarter cop's going to go, fuck it, we have his car. Where's he going to go? We have his fucking car. We know where he lives. We have his car. We're going to find him. We're going to find him later. Let the fucking asshole run with the taser. But now, you have these people in the car who are like, yo, man, we got kids, when the cop shot him. I believe he let off 3 or 4 shots. I didn't count. I counted 3 for sure. He shot the guy 3 times in the back. Well, 1, because he was running and aiming, okay? So, obviously, you're going to get shot in the back. So, they acted like he was just running away, and he didn't. The media is just so disgusting. But there's these people, yo, man, we got kids. Yes, you do have kids. This guy stole a police officer's taser. Do you think in his head, in the heat of the moment, scrapping with these cops, that he meant to grab the taser or the gun? Okay, because promise you, if that guy could have got a hold of that gun, that's what he would have been. And it would have been a whole different story then, right? It's just, he just grabbed what he could grab. He grabbed the fucking taser. He probably couldn't get a hold of the gun because it's in a holster. You got to, turn the thing down, pull it out. You got to train to do that as a police officer. Someone you're scrapping with a cop, it's tough to do. That's why it's. So I'm not going to say these cops were in the wrong because honestly, he pointed a weapon at them. He did. And these people don't know. If he would have got a hold of that gun, this guy's running back. He could have just been shooting. He don't give a shit who's in the line. He don't care if these people have kids in the car. He don't care. That taser could have just likely, if somebody has their window down, that taser shot could have went in and hit a kid in the arm, and that could stop a kid's heart. That could stop a child's heart, that taser. So these people in these cars who are want to blame the police right away, and then this other guy who walks up, you shot it for no reason. He's just making up his own narrative for no reason when there's eyewitnesses there seeing this guy beat the shit out of these cops. It's just... So what I'm trying to say in this situation is there's tons of videos, and the media tried to push one narrative on everybody and make it seem like, one thing because they wanted to push this George Floyd thing even more. They want to push it even more. It's just an election year. They want to fuck with everyone. They want to scramble everyone's mind. They want to fuck Donald Trump. Oh, let's vote for the Democrats. We're going to fix everything. So, but it didn't work. There's too much footage. That's why you don't see any protests for, I don't recall his name, something. Anyway, I don't recall the guy's name, but the guy in Atlanta, I'm talking about. They fucking burned the Wendy's down, all this shit. It's one of the... You don't see big protests for that because there's too much video evidence that the cops, it's debatable whether or not they were in the right or wrong. Lose their job, fucking bullshit. Now, at this point, Jocko said on a Joe Rogan podcast, it's like at this point, you don't even have to fucking worry about defunding the police because who in their right mind would want to be a cop at this point? You're out there putting your life on the line and you're getting no respect from anyone and you can't defend yourself because the second you do, you're going to lose your fucking job, your pension, everything you work for. So there's cops resigning left and right. There's chiefs, there's big head police unions leaving and resigning because they can't even stick up for their own guys because their own leadership has turned on them. It's disgusting. So, the media, it's pretty obvious that they're trying to push this whole narrative with this whole thing, and it didn't work. So what's next, right? I'm almost convinced. If that would have worked, say those cops really did shoot that guy for no reason, and that narrative was actually what happened, right? I'm convinced that would be that one more thing that this country is going into complete anarchy, and I'm certain of that. So we just need one more thing to happen, guys, and, that person who commented is going to know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about because it's just going to go crazy. It's, I don't get it. I don't get why people are so... And it's... You don't have to believe in anything, just... everybody's being pushed in to believe this or believe that. And, what happened to a couple of months ago where everybody was kind of free to believe whatever they wanted, and there was none of this. It's just all of a sudden the media pushes this. And I think these media outlets, and I've said this before, they got to be starting to be held responsible for this. The problem is they're ran by these huge, big companies, and there's nothing really you could do. I mean, who's going to sue them when the people who you would be going to court against them with are on their side? So, something's got to change, and I don't know what it's going to be. And for me, personally, I don't think moving's not going to fix nothing for me, right? I just want to get out of the city because it's too fucking risky, all right? This is part of the plan of getting out of a situation to where if things do get bad here, it's real hard for me to get out. I want to live, a lot of you may be like sitting there thinking, well, fuck it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. You don't know that. It doesn't look like that. And if you want to stay in a city, that's on you. When shit really hits the fan, you're trying to get out of here, where are you going to go? There's nowhere to go. You got New York City. You got Philadelphia. You got all these big cities all along the East Coast where everybody's going to try to come into one area. There's going to be nowhere to go. You're going to try to go to the Appalachian Mountains. Everybody's going to be trying to get out of the city and go into that direction. The suburbs are going to get overrun. Ben Salem, all of Bucks County, all these places. when shit hits the fan and something like a blackout happens in the city, right? And maybe a couple of bombs go off and a terrorist attack and some other shit happens. Let's just be crazy, right? Everybody in the city is going to go in one direction towards the suburbs, and these suburbs are going to get trampled. They're going to get trampled. And then comes all the farmlands where we get our corn, our cows, our meats, our milks, all that shit is going to get trampled, right? So being out in the desert, and who knows for me, like, what am I going to live off of out there? Cactus? But, like, it's not going to get better for me out there. I still need to be able to have food and have stuff stored up. So it's going to take a while, even if I move out there in October, which is probably out of the question. It's probably more like January, February. But even if I moved out there, right, it would still take 3 years to 4 years to build something to where it's self-sufficient, where I don't have to worry about going into town or anything like that. So, but that's part of the plan, and I feel like, I should have done this years ago, but it's better late than never, right? And we don't know what's going to happen with this, and, everything can go to shit. And, I could lose my job and lose my income and never be able to do it. And then at that point, everybody at that point is losing their job. So at that point, I guess you just take what you want, right? So who knows how this all plays out? It's crazy. I think people need to start waking up to the fact that the world that we live in is no longer, the country that we live in is no longer, it's not the same. It's never going to be the same. And, I don't know. It's kind of scary. We prepared for this, though, guys. In Hardcity, all you guys and girls who've been watching my channel for the better part of 5 years now know that this is what we talked about. All these scenarios that we talked about, it's happening. So I think we'll all be okay if you've been getting ready. But let's move on to somebody asked me if I was Antifa. Oh my God, I can't take it. Are you Antifa? Do you work for Antifa? And I said, well, do you know what fucking Antifa is? There's no, do you work for fucking Antifa? If I want to be Antifa, then that's all I say. I'm Antifa. I'm anti-fascist. I'm an Antifa. That's it. I'm Antifa. I said so. That's all that is. There's no organization of it. There's a groups of people who decide that they're all Antifa, and that's as far as it goes. Maybe they recruit you. Maybe some groups are bigger than others, and but it's not like one big meeting they have and everybody meet. Like Antifa is so openly anybody could be fucking Antifa is what I'm trying to say, and it's just not as organized as people think it is. So Antifa is, these are some of the people that belong to Antifa are the same people who are against firearms. They're the same people who are commenting on my stuff. So why do you need that gun pointing at peaceful protesters where there was no protesters in sight? But these are the same people who need armed guards. Right? They have armed guards at their communist utopia in the middle of Seattle. These are the same people who are surrounded by people who are armed to protect them. So I don't get the mindset of these people because they think they contradict themselves more than anything in the world. I've never seen so many people have no clue what they're actually protesting for, or no clue what they actually want to change into. They want change, but what change to what? What do you want to change? It's a free fucking country. Do you want to not make it free? Do you want to take away amendments? Oh, I'm going to take away the Second Amendment. Take away one amendment, you're going to take away all the amendments, and then, like I said, communism. So, I don't know, maybe they want that, but I'm not for that, and I will fight someone for it. I will fight for to keep our freedoms and our constitutional rights, And like some of you guys may not know who to join, right? Who to join? Where are the Patriots? Where are the Patriots at in this? Well, you got the 3%ers. You got the Minutemen. You could be a Minuteman. I'm a Minuteman. So if you don't know what the 3% is, a 3%er is the armed citizens army. It's a citizens army in the United States of America. We will come out when it matters. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. You want to look into it? Look up the 3%ers and join. Go to the meetings. So be prepared, man. And yeah, guys, it's sad to see so many people fall because I deleted my Facebook, but it's sad to see so many people arguing on Facebook and just spewing at people their views or different views. And I had one girl, and this is what ultimately I just couldn't take it anymore. She posted we're allowed to burn buildings since the black slaves built these buildings for free anyway, so you should be allowed to burn something you built for free. And I'm thinking in my head, what in the fucking actual hell are you talking about? No, since slavery became illegal, no one built a fucking building for free in this country. It was most of it was white men for one. In New York City, it was white and black. Nobody gave a shit what color you were. You worked for the steel union or the steel companies. You were building them fucking buildings, and you got paid pretty damn good. My grandfather worked for the steel company. He drove a truck for the salt company. Intelligent black person knows that that's bullshit. But, the media paints this picture to these people who... This late girl wasn't even from this fucking country. She was from Russia. So, Russia. She don't fucking know anything about our history. Although most Russian schools learn American history better than we do in our own country. Isn't that disgusting? But this girl still didn't have a clue because she figured, black slaves built the building. They can burn it if they want. No, they don't fucking own it. And even if it's just, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, really? So, anyway, guys, I don't know. I'm just that fed me up. After that, I said, fuck Facebook. It's a wasteland of fake news. People just going at it with each other. It makes no sense. None of their arguments make sense. And I just about had it with it. So if you want good news, I'll give you a couple things. ONN's not bad. Jack Posadaic, he's been my main source of what's going on. On Twitter, Twitter's just a good, reliable source because what you're getting is a lot of live video from regular people who are wherever they're at, and you can see it for yourself. So, Twitter's a very good, it's 2020. If you're getting your news from anywhere but Twitter, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. So, Twitter's a good outlet for news, and my favorite is the Epoch Times. That's the newspaper I read, and I get it through. They haven't been delivering a paper. I like to get the paper copy of it, but since COVID, they stopped. But I still get the digital email, and I read it on my iPad. So, the Epoch Times is a good one. So, yeah, this is a pretty long podcast, but, man, a bunch of shit's going on. Guys, you got to start smartening up, Start smartening up these people who think that they're going to rip down this country for some fake bullshit beliefs that the Democrats made this narrative for you to believe. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't get it. I don't get why so many people are so naive to buy into this. Why are so many people buying into this? It's scary. It's a scary situation. So, as a conservative, I don't want to say, but I'm a conservative because I guess if you were going to label me something, you could label me a conservative. But at the same time, I don't view myself as anything really. I'm just kind of, I believe in the Constitution. I believe there's a way to simply think of things as right from wrong, and I really put myself in that, label myself as one thing. A very open-minded person, but, I like our conservative values more than anything. Like, it just makes no sense to me to change. Well, let me put it like this. It makes sense to change what the government's doing right now, like as far as like these taxes and police, more training for the police and stuff like that. These are changes that are definitely needed. Police need to be changing, I think, 1/5 of the time. That's 100% accurate, and that's what Jocko mentioned on the Joe Rogan podcast. So give credit where credit's due because he's absolutely right about that. 1/5 of your time as a police officer should be training, and it's not. It's like more like 0.1 microdecimals of the time training, and unless you take it in your own hands, right? Unless you take it in your own hands, and those are the really super cops, I call them. And I know a couple of them who are they train all the time. They go to different, camps, and they have really strong values as a human being, and they. Some of them who are ex-Marines who've been in the shit, ex-Army, Rangers, whatever, who've been in the shit, who know how to control themselves in a high tense, highly escalated situation. They know how to evaluate that situation when your blood pressure's going through the roof, when your adrenaline's going through the roof. A lot of people don't know how to handle themselves or conduct themselves properly, especially when they have a lethal weapon, especially when somebody's pointing a weapon at them. Go back to that case out in Atlanta. There's situations to where if you don't have that training for that, you're going to make a bad decision. And, maybe the cop made a bad decision. Maybe he saved someone's life. It's real hard to say in that because if you're not, to me, I think that he did. I don't want to say he did the right thing, but I think he did what he thought was the right thing at that time. You know, whether or not, for me, like I said, I think that as someone who I know, like I've been in some high tense situations before. I just put myself in a high tense situation last week. You know, somebody threw a freaking bomb at us. You know what I mean? And those are situations to where, you know, you can make a bad decision when that happens, right? But I conducted myself properly and I let it go. And that was the end of it. You know, they drove off. Thank God they didn't pull a gun out or something like that, because things could have got bad after that. All right, so these are situations like to me, that cop should just be like, well, we got his fucking car. Where's he gonna go? We got his car. We got all his information. Maybe it's not his car, right? That's the only thing. Maybe, well, then you would have found out it was a stolen car, right? But they know it's his fucking car. They got his car. I don't think I heard anybody mention that, but I noticed that right away. When that guy started running away, he pointed that taser and they shot him. I'm like, why'd he shoot him? He had his car. Why are they worried about this guy going? He got his fucking car. He got his address. He probably got his license. He probably got all his information. Let him fucking, he can run. He's only going to run so long. He's going to catch up on him eventually. He's got a fucking police taser on him. What are you going to do with that? You know, sell on the black market? Which probably wouldn't be hard. But, you know, he could have hurt somebody with that. He could have shot a kid with that. So, at that point in time, you gotta really hand it to the cop for, man, it's hard to say. Because you know what it is. So, you know what, I'm just going to go on a limb and say, fuck it, the cop did the right thing. Because at this point, I actually truly believe he did do the right thing, right? But I'm having trouble saying that. Why? Because I'm so fucking worried about everybody is going to, oh, you're fucking racist, and you're this, and you're that. That's the problem. You see that thing? I was just struggling to tell you guys that. And I'm not going to edit this shit out. I'm just going to let you guys experience what that emotion was just like for me. I'm trying to struggle to tell you guys what I actually believe is right, because I do believe in that circumstances that cop did what he thought was right. And honestly, maybe in that situation you might have thought was right too, because he could have hurt somebody with that. And you know, it's not a lethal weapon. Debatable if he would have hit a kid with it, which there was kids there from my understanding. From the lady who was filming said we got kids, so obviously she had kids in the car. So what if he got a hold of the cop's gun and just started shooting off? So, you know, but like I was struggling to tell you guys that, but I honestly, it's because, you know, you're worried. And everybody's experiencing this right now. You're worried about what everybody's going to think. Fuck what everyone else thinks. This is what I think. That's my belief. I think the cop did the right thing at that point in time, in that situation. Should he have lost his job for it? Fuck no. Should he be maybe suspended or maybe whatever, put through like some training, like to see, you know, why he did that, or maybe like just question the shit out of him like they do usually in that when you shoot someone as a cop, usually the internal affairs gets involved and they fucking grill you, right? So it's almost like that's out of the question now. You just lose your fucking job. So who the hell would want to be a cop? Who would want to be a cop where you're in that situation where somebody's pointing a weapon at you and you're going to lose your fucking job? You're not fucking, I'm just going to let the guy go. I'm just going to say, fuck that. I'm not losing my pension, everything I worked for. Who knew? How long has that guy been a cop? Who knows? He probably been a cop 10 years. He's got a hell of a pension going, you know? So maybe, I don't know if 10 years, but maybe he's a rookie. Who knows? But like, that could be something to look into too. Like, if fuck it, let him go. We got his car. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this podcast. This is a long one. Let me know. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this, guys. It's just been, I think we all need to start getting ready. I think we need to, I've always been saying, get fucking ready, right? Get ready. We're almost about to hit 10,000 subscribers. We're going to do a giveaway soon. So, you know, look out for that. I like doing these podcast episodes, although this one took forever. This is a long one. This one, like, God, man. This is almost an hour long we've been talking. And it's I want to do more of these. I like these. I like doing the podcast kind of formats because it's easier for me to film and talk, and I can just chat with you guys and let you know what I'm experiencing and how I'm dealing with this situation, because I know we're all going through this right now, right, guys? I mean, we're all dealing with this. Our beliefs, whatever we believe in, is it going to get, you know, is somebody going to harass us for it? Somebody going to call us racist because I believe that the cop, you know, did the right thing? Is that racist? I don't think there's cops that any kind of, there could have been a white guy doing that. But it just so happens that it was a black man. And, you know, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I think we need to take a deep breath, really think about things before you say them. Really think hard on things before you think about them. When somebody gives you their opinion, just try to respect it. You know, de-escalate. Respect is the biggest de-escalating tool you have. Respecting another human being and their opinions is the biggest de-escalating tool you could have, because if somebody has an opinion that doesn't, you know, isn't your same view, and you have respect for that person and their opinion, you're just going to hang back and say, hey, that's what you believe, that's fine. But if you have you're not going to fucking, you're not going to convince anyone to change their mind. You know, it's a conversation that you're just not going to change. You know, people have their beliefs, they believe what they believe. But the fucked up part is when they don't respect you back, right? And that's what we're seeing a lot of. So my advice to you when you're in that situation is to just walk away. Or, like, I see a lot of it on Facebook where people are just going back and forth and blah, 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 blah. And I'm looking at these conversation threads and I'm like, why are you wasting who knows how long? You know, I mean, I'm looking at this. There's comments. There's 150 comments. And that's a good hour of your day going back and forth with someone for no reason. So just delete Facebook. Just get off it. Be done with it for a little while, guys. You know, maybe check on your family here and there, but you know, get some numbers and just call people. You know, do it the old-fashioned way. Or just stay the fuck out of it. You know, just shut up. Just stay out of it. It's not even worth it. So, anyways, that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. I love you all. Have a great rest of your week. Peace. No, and I really hope you liberal assholes love my new background. Peace.